Are you seeking prosperity and abundance in life? Most of us desire a materially fulfilling life, as it brings a sense of security, comfort, and happiness. But have you ever wondered, does wealth truly bring lasting happiness? Why do some wealthy individuals still feel empty, while others with very little seem to radiate joy? In an era where material wealth is often seen as the measure of success, the Buddha's perspective on prosperity and abundance becomes especially meaningful. The Buddha does not deny the value of possessions, but he emphasizes that they are merely tools, not the ultimate goal of life. Wealth can bring great benefits, but it can also become a burden if we do not know how to use it wisely. Today, on the Life Lessons channel, we will explore the Buddha's invaluable teachings on wealth and abundance. He points out that to achieve sustainable prosperity, it is not enough to earn wealth legitimately, we must also know how to use it to benefit ourselves and others. More importantly, the Buddha teaches that true happiness does not come from the amount of wealth we possess, but from our attitude towards life, from liberation from greed and attachment. Through this video, you will gain a deeper understanding of wealth, a means, not an end. The right way to achieve wealth. How to use resources wisely. Warnings about greed and attachment. These teachings will not only help you reevaluate your relationship with money but also guide you towards a happier and more meaningful life, regardless of your financial circumstances. Remember, abundance lies not only in material possessions but also in a peaceful soul. If you are seeking a balance between material wealth and inner happiness, this video will surely offer you valuable insights. And if you find this content helpful, please help us spread this message to more people. Like, share this video with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to the Life Lessons channel for more profound teachings from Buddhism. We appreciate your companionship on the journey to finding peace and meaning in life. Let's start the video now. Part 1, Wealth, a means, not an end. In the teachings of the Buddha, material wealth is recognized as an important factor for maintaining life and providing stability for individuals and families. However, he emphasizes that wealth is merely a means, not the ultimate purpose of life. This perspective helps us to properly understand the value of assets, avoiding the traps of greed and attachment. The Buddha's discourse on wealth serves not only as a warning but also as practical guidance for those seeking balance between material and spiritual life. Let's delve deeper into the significance of wealth from the Buddha's viewpoint. Wealth, value and meaning. From a Buddhist perspective, the Buddha affirms that legitimate wealth plays an essential role in ensuring stability and happiness in life. A person with rightful wealth will be protected from poverty and deprivation, be able to care for themselves, their families, and contribute to society, have the opportunity to practice compassion through giving and helping others. In the Digajana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 4.62, the Buddha describes 4 factors that contribute to the happiness of a layperson, among which rightful wealth is indispensable. The happiness derived from wealth includes happiness from possession, a sense of security from having earned wealth legitimately. Happiness from consumption, joy in using wealth to meet essential needs for oneself and one's family. Happiness from being debt-free, relief from the burden of financial obligations. Happiness from a life free of wrongdoing, spiritual joy from using wealth correctly, without harming oneself or others. These teachings show that the Buddha does not deny the practical value of wealth but always places it within a specific context. Wealth is just a means, not the ultimate goal. In Buddhist teachings, the ultimate purpose of life is not to accumulate wealth but to attain liberation from suffering. The Buddha warns that when people view wealth as the goal of life, they easily fall into greed, competition, and anxiety. He emphasizes that material wealth is merely a tool to support life, helping individuals pursue higher values such as morality, compassion, and spiritual development. Attachment to wealth increases craving, tanha, one of the 3 main causes of suffering in the 4 Noble Truths. In the Bhāya Sutta, the Buddha states, it is not wealth, but the liberation from attachment that brings peace. The famous saying, the rich person is not one who has much, but one who knows enough, arises from this spirit. A person who knows enough, santuthi, will not be swayed by greed and envy, thus living peacefully regardless of their material possessions. Consequences of viewing wealth as the purpose of life. When people prioritize wealth above all else, they easily lose themselves and harm others. The Buddha pointed out several negative consequences of attachment to wealth, including loss of inner peace. Worrying about maintaining and increasing wealth causes constant mental unrest. Conflict and discord. Greed leads to disputes, even destroying familial and friendly relationships. Being lost in the cycle of samsara. When unchecked, greed pulls individuals into an endless cycle of desire and disappointment. In the Mahaparinirva Sutra, the Buddha states that greed and attachment to wealth are like fire. This fire will never be extinguished if one continues to feed it with desires. Applying the Buddha's teachings in modern life. To live according to the Buddha's teachings, we need to learn how to balance material and spiritual life. Some practical suggestions include earning wealth legitimately. Ensure that one's income does not harm oneself, others, or the environment. Living simply and knowing enough. Practice contentment with what one has, avoiding extravagant and excessive consumption. Using wealth to create merit. Invest in helping others, giving, and participating in charitable activities. Meditation and self-reflection. Keep the mind clear and untainted by greed or worries about wealth. These practices not only bring joy in the present but also serve as valuable tools on the path to liberation. The Buddha's view of wealth as a means, not an end, offers profound lessons for modern life. While we need resources to ensure our livelihood, clinging to them can lead us away from true happiness. Always remember that true wealth lies in a content and peaceful soul, not in the quantity of possessions we have. Let wealth be a tool for happiness rather than a source of suffering. Part 2. Wealth creation the right way according to Buddha's teachings. Wealth creation has always been an important goal in human life. However, while many people chase profits, they may inadvertently fall into unethical ways of making money, causing harm to themselves and society. The Buddha, with his wisdom and compassion, pointed out how to earn a living righteously, helping us achieve sustainable prosperity without compromising moral values or inner happiness. Let's explore the Buddha's teachings on the right way to create wealth, a path that brings both material wealth and protects inner peace. 1. Righteous wealth, the foundation of sustainable happiness. The Buddha emphasized that wealth obtained from righteous sources not only sustains life but also lays the foundation for lasting happiness. In the Digajana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 4.62, he taught that wealth should be earned through diligence and hard work. Earning a living must be aligned with ethics and should not harm others. Wealth should be used properly to nourish one's family, support the community, and accumulate merit through good deeds. He compared a person who earns wealth righteously to a diligent farmer who plants and harvests at the right time. Wealth created from hard work brings peace of mind, joy, and contributes to the sustainable development of society. 2. Avoiding harmful occupations. In the Buddha's teachings, an important part of right livelihood in the Noble Eightfold Path is to avoid occupations that harm others. He listed 5 professions to avoid. Arms dealing, causes conflict and harms lives. Human trafficking, violates human rights and causes suffering. Dealing in poisons, poses dangers to health and life. Meat trading, involves killing animals. Alcohol and drug dealing, leads to moral degradation and harms society. These professions not only harm others but also deeply damage the soul of those who engage in them. The Buddha taught that if we earn money by exploiting or harming others, that wealth will bring bad karma, leading to unrest and suffering in the present and future. 3. Earning wealth through diligence and integrity. The Buddha praised those who work hard and earn a living with integrity. In the Anguttara Nikaya, he spoke of a diligent layperson who tirelessly works to support their family. The Buddha taught that such individuals not only create wealth but are also respected in society. To create wealth the right way, the Buddha suggested: choose a profession aligned with ethics, a job that provides income and serves the community. Be diligent and creative. The Buddha encouraged people to use their abilities to create real value rather than relying on tricks or deceit. Protect wealth through integrity. He taught that wealth is best protected not by power or hoarding but by using it to create good. The saying, "Work diligently and protect your wealth with integrity," is not just practical advice but also an important principle for achieving both material and spiritual success. 4. The value of integrity in wealth creation. In the Buddha's teachings, integrity not only helps us earn sustainable wealth but also creates immense spiritual value. Trust and respect from the community. Those who live with integrity are always valued and trusted by society. Inner peace. When we earn money righteously, we do not have to fear the consequences of wrongdoing. Long-term merit. Wealth earned through integrity nurtures present happiness and creates blessings for the future. In contrast, dishonest actions bring bad karma, causing individuals to pay the price in this life or the next. The Buddha taught that those who lack integrity, no matter how wealthy, cannot live happily because their minds are always tormented by anxiety and guilt. 5. Reflective question: where does your wealth come from? The Buddha always encouraged people to reflect and examine their actions. The question, "Is my wealth truly derived from righteous sources?" helps us reassess our paths to wealth and adjust our behaviors to live ethically. If you realize that the source of your wealth is not entirely righteous, have the courage to change. Choose the path of earning a living righteously, even if it may be more challenging, as it leads to true peace and happiness. 6. Practical lessons for modern life. In the modern world, the Buddha's teachings on creating wealth the right way remain valuable. We can apply his teachings by choosing professions that do not harm people, animals, or the environment. Avoiding illegal activities such as tax evasion, fraud, or labor exploitation. Practicing ethics in business. Prioritize community interests over personal gain, ensuring transparency and fairness. Using wealth to create merit, contributing to charitable activities, helping the poor, or protecting the environment. The Buddha's perspective on wealth creation not only helps us earn sustainable wealth but also leads to a meaningful life. He teaches that wealth is not the goal, but a tool to serve personal and community happiness. Let us work diligently, earn money with integrity, and use our wealth to do good. By doing so, we enrich ourselves materially and spiritually, living a life of peace and worthiness. Part 3. How to use wealth wisely according to Buddhist teachings. Wealth, a tool for generosity. The Buddha emphasized that wealth is not the ultimate goal of life. Instead, he viewed material possessions as tools to practice compassion and create value for family and society. He taught that when wealth is used correctly, it not only brings happiness to its owner but also spreads joy to those around. In the Digajana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 4.62, the Buddha outlined 4 ways to use wealth properly, helping individuals live a fulfilling life that balances personal and communal benefits. 1. Caring for family, the first responsibility. The Buddha highlighted that wealth should primarily be used to care for oneself and one's family. This is not only a social responsibility but also a part of ethical conduct. He taught that those who possess wealth must utilize it to ensure the safety and happiness of their loved ones, as explained in the Sigalovada Sutta. Caring for family includes meeting basic needs, ensuring food, shelter, healthcare, and education for family members. Protecting wealth, safeguarding possessions carefully, avoiding waste or misuse. Accumulating merit through filial piety. Supporting parents and caring for children is not only a duty but also a way to accumulate merit as taught by the Buddha. By prioritizing family, we not only establish a solid foundation for personal happiness but also contribute to building a better society. 2. Helping the community, practicing compassion. An essential part of using wealth wisely in Buddhism is sharing with the community, especially with those in need. The Buddha taught that compassion must be demonstrated through concrete actions, and using wealth to help others is one of the best ways to practice this. Helping the community includes supporting the poor and needy, providing food, shelter, or financial aid to those in need. This is a way to show compassion and alleviate suffering in society. Participating in charitable activities, contributing to charities, building schools, hospitals, or other public projects. Sharing knowledge and skills, sometimes, helping goes beyond material wealth and includes sharing experiences, knowledge, and skills to help others improve their lives. The Buddha encourages us to view helping others as a way to practice compassion and create meaningful connections with society. 3. Offering to temples, accumulating long-term merit. Offering is an important part of the Buddha's teachings on the proper use of wealth. He taught that supporting temples and the monastic community not only helps maintain the growth of Buddhism but also brings long-lasting merit to the giver. In the scriptures, the Buddha emphasized, offering with a pure heart, contributions should come from genuine respect without expecting personal gain. Supporting the monastic community and Buddhist activities, wealth can be used to build temples, print scriptures, or support educational programs on Buddhist teachings. Creating merit for future lives, the Buddha taught that sincere acts of giving will generate good karma and improve present and future lives. A famous story about giving is that of Visakha, one of the prominent female lay followers during the Buddha's time. She used her wealth to build temples, support the monastic community, and help the poor, thereby creating immense merit for herself and her family. 4. Avoiding selfishness and wasteful spending. The Buddha always advised that wealth should be used wisely and not squandered. He taught that selfishness or wasteful spending harms oneself and diminishes the opportunity to create blessings for society. To avoid waste, the Buddha suggested planning reasonable expenditures, knowing enough is happiness, and spending should be based on genuine needs. Steering clear of unwholesome pleasures, spending on alcohol, gambling, or harmful entertainment depletes wealth and creates negative karma. Sharing instead of hoarding, the Buddha taught that wealth is not for hoarding but for use in good purposes. 5. Benefits of using wealth wisely. When wealth is used properly, it brings numerous benefits that far exceed material value. Personal happiness. Those who use wealth correctly will experience joy and peace from their good deeds. Strengthening family and community bonds. Wealth used to care for family and assist the community creates lasting and meaningful relationships. Long-term merit. Properly using wealth generates good karma, improving both present and future lives. Spreading positive values. A small act of sharing can lead to significant societal change, encouraging others to participate in good deeds. 6. Reflective question. How is your wealth being used? The Buddha encourages us to ask ourselves, is my wealth being used wisely? If you realize that you have not utilized your wealth to create blessings, start making changes today. Care for your family, help the community, and offer to temples. These actions not only help you live meaningfully but also bring lasting happiness to yourself and those around you. Wealth, when used correctly, is a powerful tool for creating happiness and lasting value. The Buddha taught us that happiness does not come from accumulating wealth but from how we use it for the benefit of ourselves and society. Part 4. Warnings about greed and attachment according to Buddhist teachings. 1. Introduction. Greed, the source of suffering. In the sutras, the Buddha emphasizes that greed, tanha, is one of the 3 poisons, the 3 unwholesome roots, that cause all suffering in life. Greed drives people to endlessly seek wealth, power, and fame, leading to an infinite cycle of dissatisfaction and fatigue. In the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha taught, a greedy person, even though they possess much, is never satisfied. Like the sea, the more they drink, the thirstier they become. Greed not only causes individuals to suffer for what they do not have but also instills fear of losing what they already possess. This is the root of conflict, rivalry, and disputes in society. 2. Manifestations of greed and attachment to wealth. Greed and attachment can manifest in various ways, from material desires to stubbornness in protecting possessions. Endless desire. Once a goal is achieved, individuals often crave more. For example, Someone with one house may wish for another, or a person with savings may want them to continuously grow. Fear of loss. Those attached to their possessions often live in anxiety, fearing the loss of their wealth or the inability to protect it from harm. Conflict and disputes. Greed leads to struggles over possessions among friends, relatives, or within social relationships, causing suffering for all involved. Wasting time and energy. Greedy individuals often spend too much time pursuing material wealth, forgetting more important values like family, friendship, and spiritual development. 3. The dangers of greed and attachment. The Buddha teaches that greed not only causes personal suffering but also weakens communities and society as a whole. Some notable harms include loss of inner peace. A greedy person never feels enough, constantly living in dissatisfaction and stress. This robs them of the inherent peace and happiness. Creating bad karma. Greed can lead individuals to wrongful actions like deceit, theft, and exploitation. Such actions generate negative karma, affecting present and future lives. Breaking relationships. Attachment to wealth often harms familial and social relationships, causing disputes and division. Wasting life. When overly focused on wealth, individuals forget the true meaning of life, missing opportunities for intellectual and compassionate growth. 4. How the Buddha guides us to overcome greed and attachment. The Buddha not only warns about the dangers of greed but also provides methods to overcome it, helping individuals live more peacefully and freely. Practicing mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness helps individuals recognize the truth that everything in life is impermanent. Meditation calms the mind, alleviating desires and attachments to material things. Contemplating impermanence. The Buddha teaches that all wealth, fame, and status are not permanent. A clear understanding of this helps individuals let go of attachments. Practicing compassion and generosity. Instead of holding tightly to wealth, the Buddha encourages sharing with those in need. Giving not only reduces greed but also creates blessings and long-lasting happiness. Living with contentment. The Buddha teaches that happiness does not come from possessing more but from being satisfied with what one has. A person who knows enough will always feel peaceful and undisturbed by unnecessary desires. 5. Illustrative story. King Pasenadi and contentment. In the Samyutta Nikaya, there is a story about King Pasenadi. One day, after a sumptuous meal, the king felt so full that he was uncomfortable. The Buddha took this opportunity to teach that greed, whether in food or wealth, harms both health and mind. He advised the king to practice contentment and generosity to find true peace. This story illustrates that even a wealthy king does not find true happiness in riches, but rather in knowing how to let go and share. Seeking liberation from greed. Greed and attachment do not bring happiness, they only pull individuals into an endless cycle of suffering and dissatisfaction. The Buddha teaches that only when we let go of insatiable cravings and focus on living a meaningful life can we achieve lasting peace and happiness. Ask yourself, am I allowing greed to control my life? How can I live with contentment and share with those around me? Happiness does not come from possession but from liberation from attachment. Letting go does not mean renouncing everything, but rather knowing how to use wealth wisely without allowing it to control our minds. Conclusion: prosperity and abundance according to the teachings of the Buddha. In modern life, everyone desires to achieve prosperity and abundance. But does possessing great wealth truly bring happiness? According to the Buddha, the answer lies not simply in having more or less, but in how you earn wealth, how you use it, and your attitude towards it. The Buddha emphasized that to achieve sustainable abundance, wealth must be earned from rightful sources, through diligence and ethics. He advised avoiding harmful professions, such as trading in weapons, poisons, or exploiting others. In the scriptures, he taught, no one can live in peace if their wealth comes from the suffering of others. By earning a living honestly and without causing harm, you not only protect your own blessings but also contribute to building a better society. Ask yourself, is my source of income truly in line with ethics and compassion? Wealth is only truly valuable when it benefits oneself, family, and community. The Buddha taught that wealth should be reasonably allocated to 4 areas. Caring for family and oneself. Investing to maintain and grow one's wealth. Supporting those in need, such as the poor or those in difficult circumstances. Making donations and creating merit, contributing to spiritual development. He advised us to use wealth to share and help others, as compassion not only reduces attachment but also brings true joy. The one who shares is the richest of all, for they bring happiness not only to others but to themselves as well. One of the important lessons from the Buddha is the right attitude toward wealth. Wealth is a means, not the ultimate goal. If you become too attached to material possessions, you can easily fall into a cycle of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and suffering when you experience loss. The Buddha taught that happiness does not come from possession, but from contentment and letting go. Living in contentment, santuthi, helps you feel satisfied with what you have while freeing you from unnecessary desires. Remember, true happiness does not come from outside, but from within a peaceful mind. Life is not just about the pursuit of wealth but also about the journey toward meaning and tranquility. The Buddha has left profound lessons on how to live with wealth, from earning and using it to our attitude toward it. If you found this video helpful and valuable, please like to support this meaningful content. Share with friends and family to spread the valuable teachings of Buddhism. Subscribe to the Life Lessons channel to not miss out on meaningful lessons that help you live more peacefully and happily. We hope that through this video, you have realized that prosperity lies not only in what you possess but also in how you live, how you give, and how you perceive life. Wishing you always peace and happiness.